showtime on Street Smart Cool Cat, the show about the globalization of culture.
Growing up in the 80s in New York, I mean, hip-hop, breakdancing, kung fu movies. I think the 80s was a real unique time for the city. Hip-hop was young, maybe 500 rappers, you know what I mean? Breakdancing was like on every street corner, not every street corner, but a lot of street corners you would go by. You see kids grabbing cardboard boxes, cutting them up, taking them to the corner, put a hat on the floor, breakdancing, you know what I mean? Usually living on Staten Island, you have to ride the ferry to go to Manhattan. You ride the ferry to go to Manhattan. Usually you may not have no money, so you go up to the second floor of the ferry, take your hat off and you start rapping and dancing and make $5, $10 and go to the movies. And back then you could buy a joint for $1. The ferry was 25 cents. 25, yeah, 25 cents. So one way was 25 cents, the other way was free. So you gotta keep that.
All right. Did you ever skate or ride a BMX?
Nah, I skated and skateboarded, but I never was really talented at it. Most I could do on the skateboard is a tap. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever breakdance or graffiti?
Yeah, I did graffiti. I wrote Raze and RZA, graffiti artist. I wrote
How do you spell that?
RAZE and RZA, R-A-Z-O-R. Basically RZA, man. I got chased by the police, got arrested, all that for graffiti. As far as breakdancing, I was more of a popper, man. Like lock. I still pop and lock, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really do too much breakdancing as far as when the windmill came out, that's when I stopped.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's the real story behind the early beginning of the Wu-Tang Clan? Was it like a family affair, a strong alliance based on friendship?
Yeah, well, actually, you know what I'm saying? It was like Wu-Tang was a bunch of different friends, you know what I mean? Whereas I was a common denominator. You know, everybody in the crew knew me, but everybody in the crew didn't know each other. But, for instance, U-God and Method Man was living together, you know what I mean? Me and Ghost was roommates, you know what I mean? Ray Fawn, you know, was my childhood friend, you know what I mean? And he had another person that was down with us, a guy named Ali Grant, known as Power, who was the president of Wu, where him and Ray Fawn was partners, you know what I mean? Old Dirty and Jizza and me were cousins, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of bonding, love already, but it was also all brought together under one common cause. And we came together for a common cause. It was fights in the beginning and disagreements, but it was those long trips on the road and those long, you know, that long struggle, you know what I mean? I remember at one point, you know, you'll see two guys arguing and fighting, but then after an 8-hour ride in a tight-ass van, he's gonna fall asleep on your shoulder, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it became a strong family within like 1 year. I learned mathematics, of course, on my last study mathematics. And if you look at somebody in mathematics who they consider as a negative person, there's a man called Mr. Yakub, right? Where they said, this man had a determined idea, you know what I mean? And with a determined idea, he changed the whole history of the world. You know what I'm saying? I felt when I was about to do Wu-Tang, I felt my idea was determined. There was nothing to stop me. I mean, many people close the door in my face, yo. But it's like, nah, this is it, you know, this is real. So I had a determined idea. Not be deterred, shall we say.
Okay, seems like you and RZA had already done production earlier in the late 80s or early 90s?
Yeah, like 1989, I recorded a song called OVW Arcade. As far as recorded professionally, but we've been recording songs since 1982. Demos, I mean, we used to take a shoebox, you know what I mean, and a stack of comic books, and a tape recorder, and rap, and record it, play it back. You know what I mean? So we was making tapes since maybe 9 to 11 years old.
Besides the numerous albums throughout the years, you launched Wu-Wear, Indian skate game. You once launched Wu-Tang Skateboards with Maurice Key and was it Jamal Williams?
Yeah.
Tell us about this time, the skateboard project, and
well, I think skateboarding was something that was very special when it first hit the scene. It's like breakdancing, skateboarding, you know what I mean, and BMX. You know what I mean? It was a new breakdance, really. And, you know, to me it was a form of hip-hop. And even though you had more white kids doing it than black kids, it still was hip-hop. You know what I mean? It still had a alternative edge to it. So I wanted to be a part of it, you know what I mean? And plus a lot of skateboarders was always like pumping Wu-Tang or wearing Wu-Tang t-shirts. So I just wanted to kind of show them that I support their craft as well. I study all of that. So mathematics is the core of all things, though, because everything has a mathematical foundation, regardless of what it is. If you look at the Bible, people will tell you that it's all codes, it's all the Kabbalah, that's how they say. If you look at the Quran, in the 99 names of Allah, they say that you chant these names X amount of times as mathematical reference and has spiritual power. If you look at 700 songs, 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, which is 700 verses, which is God born into 2 ciphers. It's actually a song, it's the foundation of yoga. You know what I mean? Everything has a mathematical context to it. So mathematics is the true key. There was a New York Times article that came out in the early 90s that says mathematics, language of God. I like that article. I agree with that article because you see, like, no matter what we think, what we see, everything is mathematics. I'm going to say this to you real quick. It's something I pondered on today. And I'll share it with you. I'll get it first, right? Yeah, but you notice how it says, like, God breathed the breath of life into man, and then man became a living spirit. It's like we were talking about how, like, when you leave your old homes or you leave your old house and you come back maybe some years later, it's just dusty and it's grainy and it's deteriorating. But why? Nobody's turning it up because there's no breath of life. So the power, the breath is even more than we can imagine. If everybody was to leave Paris, the city would become desolate and it would decay itself. Because there's no activity of life, there's no mind activity, there's no breath activity. I was just thinking about that, like, wow, really, that breath of life is more than the surface meaning of it. So